Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P-Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do for you. I'm spending way too much time out here because I just came up with a concept that I got to get out the way. When I come up with it, usually I come up with the ideal concept and I let out. Right now, I got to get this concept out. Well, this is on my mind, so let's go. Writer's 25 Rules to Live By. Storyteller, story with a message. There's a message in my stories for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in and receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Ooh, I got to get in. That's right. Right thinking mission, and I'm on it. It's to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinker's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline practiced daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to, know thyself. See where we go with this? Let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I get through. Yeah, that's what I do. A person who a person who knows not, and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm your spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself, and to my yacht, be true. Right thinkers. I just came off the sex education lesson I just gave you. You're going to take a hit for that one. But the concept just came to me. Right thinkers, let's talk about this. Check out this concept. Spiritual intercourse is not like sexual intercourse. What the hell? Okay, I'm trying to put it together. I'm going to get God and sex. I'm going to put them together and watch how it works. Woo! Let's see if I can make this thing go. Spiritual intercourse is no physical contact. It's all done what? Mentally and connection, what? Spiritually with the concept of God. We all have God telepathically. So when two people be the same wavelength about God, that's a spiritual connection. That's having a spiritual intercourse with people like-minded yourself. When y'all go to church, y'all having spiritual intercourse conceptually. What's this? I'm trying to, what the hell he talking about? It makes sense to me. Let me see if I can make it make sense to you. All right. When you add a spiritual intercourse, that's next level. It ain't physical. It's all spirit and mental. Me and my pastor share blessings that we receive from God from the way we live daily. Two different venues, two different lifestyles, but we get the same benefit of how we live. That's how God works. And that's the spirituality that if you're working and doing what you need to, it's all what? Blessings from that person. But the physical part, sexual intercourse, that's when two people get together for the what? For the pleasure of what y'all want to call it. But that's a purpose. I just got finished giving you the sex education. We had a guy called Men. He's the man with the big penis. It stay hard. But he didn't go around sticking it. He was showing you he got control over his lower nature. He know what it's for, and he used it for just that, reproduction purposes. Man lost his way when he just started putting it anyway. And other men, he didn't care. Animals. You got to make a law to tell the man he can't have sex with a damn sheep or animal. Really? Really? So, get out of there. But that's all sexual. Let's deal with the intercourse on a spiritual level. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. Sex is our physical. Spiritual intercourse is interact on another level. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. So I hope I'm getting it there. But now, sexual intercourse was originally for what? Reproduction purpose. It's a natural urge. Animals, when the female get in the heat, what? She go around there, come get it, come and get it. She didn't pick and choose, she didn't care. But the wolves, certain animals, they mate for life, okay? You get a woman now, her body count may be low as yours. That means she's been around a few times. I tell you about them kind of people. But people who cherish and respect their body count is low, okay? They don't just give it around. No, they don't just share this up. No. I got an issue. I just told my buddy right now on the phone, 22 years marriage, right? I remember, I was in the wedding. I remember when he was chasing her. He was courting her, trying to get her. I said, dude, you my dude, but I respect the fact as a man, you kept her. Okay, 22 years, they still looking like new money. I just told my man, I love you. I'm my favorite couple. Why? I watch y'all grow. He told me, I don't want to hear the bad part. Okay, they don't see that. Nobody gets to see that. I use the example. When you see that duck on the pond, he's cool as a cucumber. He just chilling, coming around. If you look up in that water, that motherfucker's struggling to ask. Okay, so that's the reality of it. We never see, you don't see me scrambling and trying to make sure I'm reading over. You don't see me doing that. I do that before I turn the camera on. But those are things that's going on behind the scene that make when the camera come on look like it's all just rehearsed and routine. That's what I do for you. It's easy. Come on. Now, when spiritual intercourse, again, is strictly a spiritual and mental telepathy connection that we lost as a people. We used to can think each other up. I still prefer that. My brother called. I said, dude, you're going to live a long time. Well, I just think about you. Okay, on my mind. We used to can do that. Call on some stuff with our mental. We don't. If any gift that God gives you and you don't lose it, you don't use it, He's going to take it away. Our gift to telepathically communicate with each other, took it away. Now it's clairvoyance, extrasensory perception. It used to be normal. That's what I'm saying. Again, we're losing that. Spiritual intercourse is strictly spiritual and mental telepathy communication from one another. All right? Now, spiritual intercourse, we think just happens after we get married to somebody. No, y'all should be spiritually connected before y'all say that I do. A lot of people don't recognize that. And the biggest divorce rate, the biggest problem is what? Sex. Problem in the bed. But they married. Oh, yes, that was the money we got married. Yeah. But when that goes, what else you got? Again, moving on. But that's all the difference in understanding spiritual from physical. Physical runs out. You are physical. You're going to die. What's in you is spiritual. Your mental concept to direct you to do certain things, that's what you want to be listening to. Let your conscious be your guide, and that's spiritual. Spiritual intercourse should be done way before what y'all say I do's and become one when y'all only become one when sexually. Intercourse means y'all trying to get into each other, and that's cool, but that's what it's for. But once you get past that, you leave the spirit and the mental part out. Why? Everything is just physical. But when you're dealing on a spiritual level, the interaction with other people on the spiritual level is why I go to church, why I fellowship with Christians, why I deal in the spirit concepts, what I do right here, right there in philosophy. If you're not spiritual, I'm not dealing with you. If you're materialistic, I know who you are. I know what you're about. Moving on. I'm more spiritual than physical. Why? I've raised my consciousness. That's why. Spiritual intercourse is what leads to the marriage having what? The spiritual connection. That's what puts y'all together. A lot of people ain't what they call evenly yoked. We evenly lustful. Yeah, when the lust run out, when that desire to have each other run out because of whatever's going on, it's no longer no fun to interact. So that intercourse, the interaction, the intimacy is gone. So marriage pretty much is doomed from that point on. Okay? Why? You gonna look for intimacy somewhere else? She gonna look for sex somewhere else? That ruins the marriage. That's why. Now, spiritual intercourse can be had with what? Man and women and women. Why? Because it ain't physical. Ain't nothing gay about having spiritual intercourse with another man, speaking about God. If we ain't talking to God, we ain't gonna have a long conversation. If God ain't in our mix, we ain't be talking long. Why? That's what's important to me. And if that ain't important to you, we don't need the conversation. I ain't arguing, debating, stuff like that. Moving on. But I have a philosophy that I practice, and it's God-based. It's all about spiritual discipline, doing what I think God would be pleased with, my actions, living right. That's all. That's it. I was pleasing myself, the devil, when all I was doing, getting that money, having pleasure, the flesh, doing all that. Okay, but there's a price to pay for that. I can tell you all the time. When it feels good, I have spiritual love for my spiritual brothers in Christ and sisters because what? It's all mental. It's all mental. I can love them without touching and feeling them. If you think love is about, no, that's physical touch. I'm a spiritual. I know the spirit in us is shared by everybody. So if you're a Christian, Muslim, or Jew, I ain't got a problem with you. We can interact and have spiritual intercourse on a regular basis. But I don't have spiritual wars. It's two different things. If you want to argue and debate and critique and tell me about what you believe, that's a waste of my time. Moving on, I don't need that. Okay, I go to church to get lessons from the Bible. So if you want to talk about the Bible, but you ain't teaching me nothing. Moving on. You need to practice what you're talking about. Spiritual love, again, aka spiritual intercourse, is sharing what God, me and my mother-in-law, all we do is have spiritual intercourse. Love it. And that's universal love. Everybody loves God. Now you can share in your blessings that you receive from God. For those who don't get those, you can't have that conversation. So it ain't my fault, but don't get mad at me. I just tell you, I work for the Lord. I get blessed for doing my job. You claim to believe in God, but are you putting in the work to earn your what? Your blessings. I get mine every day. Why? I earn them. He don't just help you get blessed. You know, he ain't Oprah Winfrey. You know, you don't get blessed. You don't get blessed. No. When two people try to become one, that's looking for a soulmate. Yeah, I have that joining, but that's physical. That's not spiritual. Two people ain't gonna never become one. No, y'all separate beings. Y'all can come together and what? Procreate to make a third party. But y'all even never become one. Become together, stay united as one. Yeah, that's all fine. It takes a man and a woman to procreate. It takes the mother and the father to raise the children. That's universal. We got to the mode where it takes a man and woman to procreate, but the woman get left raising the baby. Man pay child support. Well, they do that because the woman wasn't getting no assistance from you. Come on, now you got to do something. I ain't got no problem with that, but I understand it. But that's something that we should take responsible for as a people. That's all. Now, where we at? Spiritual intercourse. Where we at? Spiritual intercourse. Spiritual, okay. Right here, yeah, okay. Now, spiritual love, aka intercourse, is sharing God's gifts, blessings, so to speak. And if you ain't receiving, you won't have that conversation. But again, when you got two people trying to become one, that's all physical. And that's what they call it, intercourse. Yeah, but your first love, okay? Everyone is looking for what? What they call soulmate, the twin flame. Somebody who's feel the way you feel from the heart. I get it. I understand that. But watch this. That's a spiritual connection. And when your first love, the first person you surrender yourself to spiritually, emotionally, that's your first love. For women, the first person that they lay down with to have sex with physically, that's pretty much their first love. But no, that's just what you remember the first. But with a man, it's a little different. Try to make that point known. Watch this. And again, your first love is the one that you gave what? Your heart to. Not your physical pleasure. No. Not to your sexual partners. No, it ain't about that. Again, that first love is the one who you trust, and that's what happens. Okay. But after you lose your first love, your true soulmate, now you will be what? Longing for what? To repeat that rest of your life. It ain't like what happened. Like chasing that high when you hit that pipe. Everybody, after they get high, they want that high again. You can't get it. It's a one-shot deal. One time to go. But the people who do it don't know that. Why? They keep doing it over and over again. When you come to realize something and you can't make a better decision for yourself, that's on you. Again, your decision. If I believe something, what I believe was wrong, I'm changing my belief. Simple as that. But if you're lucky enough in life, again, to get a second chance at a first love, why? You chasing what you already had. It only comes one time. Again, you can't get the first for nothing. You can't become a virgin over again. No matter how long you don't have sex between the time. No, you can't go back to being a virgin. So that first love will always be the first love. That's what just the concept. And it's all mental and spiritual. Sex and spirit is the strongest force known to man. And you need to do what? Be able to control them both. The spirit is here. The sex drives come here and from your lower nature. It's in you. It's natural. It's normal. The idea is controlling it. Animals don't try to. What? They don't have to. They got what they care. They just get it and do what they got to do and go on about their business. We're not animals. But if you put sex as your agenda, you just like the animals in the field. You're doing pretty much anything to get your pleasures, to get your rocks off, so to speak. Okay. But sexual energy is, again, the strongest energy force desired in man. But to be able to control it is self-mastery. Some of us never master that part of our life. Moving on. You got 50, 60-year-old guys now still chasing young girls, popping pills, thinking you can't go to club back. You can't go back. What you did then, if you didn't get it then, you can't go back and get it. Simple as that. The past is the past. But y'all still want to chase again. I ain't here to judge or critique, and I'm just giving you a natural fact about life. Mine's all about life. And that desire to procreate at a certain point when, hey, I'm all done. Yeah, it's done. But now you're going to force him into battle. False pretenses, give him something. Well, what the hell? Moving on. It's getting away too much intimate stuff. Now, but a lot of men never gain control of their lower nature. Women too. It ain't just a male thing. No. They're sexual prowesses. They just can't seem to stop. Married or otherwise, don't make a difference. They're gonna have sex. Okay, moving on. Women with a high sex drive, usually what they do, they go into the business and make their money for it. They can just give it away, so they might well get paid for it. I understand that concept. Again, I don't knock nobody's hustle. Moving on. I just ain't trying to be hustled. That's all. If sex is what you live for, taking pills to have it longer and much more, knock yourself out. Have at it. I choose something else. Moving on. Again, sex is for reproductional purpose. But that's why after 50 normal years of doing it, now what? That party's over. I took mine to the limit. I made a baby at 50 years old, so yeah, it's still driving. Okay, I'm still driving. Okay, still doing, but not so much now. Okay, moving on. But again, reproduction, you can still reproduce. Oh yeah, don't worry about that. And wrapping it up, again, appreciate you tuning in. This went. I hope you get an understanding. Spiritual pleasure, spiritual love over physical love, aka pleasures of the flesh, is what right thing philosophy teaches and practices. Why? It's more important to be spiritually pleased than to be physically pleased. That's just a fact, and that's the difference in being right and wrong. It may feel good, but if it's wrong, it ain't gonna last long. Moving on. I don't need no pills to have spiritual intercourse. And I can, last a lot longer. Okay? Hours without nothing, just spiritually enhancing and spiritually being honest and exercising my right to share what God has done in my life and how I'm living it. Everybody don't want to hear that. That's why I don't share it with everybody. Again, that's the spiritual intercourse I have with certain people. Everybody don't care. Let's go. And I'm too old to want to have sex for hours. Why? But you probably tell you that, man. She said, let's make love all night. No, let's get busy and make love about a half hour and have a good night's sleep. So at a certain point, that ain't the end all be all for the old man. That's all. That's a young man's thing. Have at it, man. If you young and taking pills, you got a problem. Back in my day, we didn't need that. No, good to go. Let's go. And that's why when men shame, when they don't stand like it's supposed to, they don't talk about it. At 50, you got ED, my man. What? It's a natural. Well, then you ain't no different. Nobody told me. Yeah, they won't. My professor told me when I was a high school, a college student, never forget, he said, man, get 20 years of a normal sex life, then you get 10 years of monkeying around, then you get 10 more years of lying about it, and then you get 10 years of making an ass out of himself. That add up to 50. Okay? I stopped making an ass out of myself at 50. Moving on. I had no idea at 17, but it makes a lot of sense at 50. Moving on. So you get the concept, prepare yourself. It's coming. All right. But now I'm growing old, gracefully. Because I'm not chasing young girls. I'm not looking for sexual exploitation. I'm enjoying life, okay? I don't like young girls. Why? I have grandkids. I got nieces. I ain't trying to see them naked, all that nonsense. That's perverted to me. Uncle Mark is respectful. I want y'all to dress provocative, not around me. When please, just cover it up. That's all I get what you do. But if I'm around, please, I don't need to see all of that. Some of you perverted uncles, looking at prying your, put my foot off in your butt. I can't stand that, okay? But some young girls, they don't think like that. So they just think, okay, they should, but within reason, you don't want somebody to have that idea about you, that's all. But when it's all about what? Spiritual, I love you. I don't need that, okay? So please, my grandkids, same thing. Again, I don't do that. I ain't pleasing to that. And my personal desires in life is to what? Not to act or look like I want sexual pleasures from anybody. I'm all about the spiritual joy and bliss. I can share God's grace with you and good stuff. I don't need to touch you. I don't need you to touch me. We ain't got to do none of that. If we can't share blessings spiritually, whoa, we ain't got nothing in common. No, I ain't to do. No, wrapping it up. Again, this is just one of my concepts I had to come up with. I hope I worked it out. But I don't look at my church women sexually, but I see them spiritually and I respect and love them all. That's fine. I ain't in there lusting over nobody. I don't do that. Again, that's all perverted thoughts. When the thoughts are pure and the actions or intentions are good, they will feel it. They'll recognize that. They can tell the difference. You think they don't know that you trying to, women ain't stupid. Men are. Trust me. I'm a man. I'm speaking for us. And I'm trying to tell you, until you get smart, we're stupid. Again, hope you learned the lesson. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. I got to go. But again, in closing, right thinkers, may y'all let it be 100. Me, 100 miles a day. So I know them who my spiritual intercourse havers passed away. It ain't about sexual. It's all about spiritual with me.